Coming up, flood victims and lawmakers are demanding answers from FEMA.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A town hall meeting was held in Dorton tonight, allowing flood victims to ask questions to FEMA officials about their claims and the roadblocks they are facing in the application process. Emily Bennett was there and spoke to people who say they left with more questions than answers.
A room full of frustration.
And $1,503 doesn't even cover the mowing on my home.
Flood victims saying FEMA is only providing false hope, red tape, and disappointment.
The only thing I got out of this meeting was appeal it. No real answers, just appeal it.
Leandra Johnson lives in Dorton. Her home was spared, but she says her bridge was washed away.
We have no access to our homes.
She says she applied for FEMA assistance online, then went in person to the Disaster Relief Center.
And they reviewed our application. They said everything looked great.
When an inspector came to her home, she says they were gone within 20 minutes.
We even had the estimate ready when she came, and we asked her, you know, would you like to see the contractor's estimate? She said, no, I don't need to. She
heard back from FEMA Monday, approving her for rental assistance, which she said she did not even ask for. But her bridge was never mentioned.
It's a runaround.
Others at the meeting also frustrated, saying they got less than $200 to replace their bridge.
$32. And we're all tired. We're all playing the flood month. And if we had that much time, we keep on getting penalized because we got flooded.
FEMA representatives saying sometimes that money is for a service call to hire a contractor and find out how much it will cost to repair. But that is not mentioned in the eligibility letter.
Unfortunately, when you get those eligibility letters, it doesn't specify whether it's for a service call or not. You have to contact us so we can let you know.
Telling flood victims to appeal and include an itemized estimate on how much it will cost to repair.
And let's resolve this from the beginning. That's what our people need.
Victims responding with an appeal of their own, asking FEMA to simplify the process and offer more clarification. In Pike County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials at the meeting also mentioned a problem with looting. The county attorney asking people to report any incident to his office and law enforcement, stressing penalties are greater during a state of emergency. As some express their frustrations with FEMA, a team of lawyers say they will offer free legal help to applicants who have been denied aid. Joe Childers is a civil litigation attorney in Lexington, but got his start at Apple Red in eastern Kentucky. More than 9,200 applications have been filed with FEMA for individual assistance, but only around 4,500 have been approved. He says he wants to do his part to help those who lost everything.
Many of my acquaintances and friends have been through this flooding. It's devastating. And I just feel like it's something we can do as a legal community.
Those facing a FEMA denial or who might need some additional assistance should contact the hotline for free legal aid. That number is monitored Monday through Friday from 8 until 4:30, and you can see the number there on your screen, 1-800-621-3362. Governor Andy Beshear also addressed those FEMA concerns during a flood response update in Frankfort today, and he believes FEMA is listening. WYMT's Keaton Hall continues our coverage.
After the recent flooding, some eastern Kentuckians have been voicing their frustrations with FEMA. Monday, during a press conference, Governor Andy Beshear addressed some of their concerns.
We needed to see more people approved for individual assistance. I had a meeting with FEMA this morning, and they have taken a number of steps that I do believe will help.
The governor said FEMA staff are now calling every person whose claim has been denied, opening a brand new texting line and giving officials on the ground more power.
And this is a big one. The people in the disaster recovery centers now have the authority to approve claims.
More than 1/3 of housing assistance claims are currently being denied. Officials are urging everyone who's been denied to call the FEMA hotline or go to one of the disaster recovery centers to try and get approved in person.
If you get a letter saying you're ineligible for federal assistance, don't take that. Pick up the phone and call us, because it could be something very, very simple to turn that around very, very quickly.
Some FEMA staff are now going door to door approving claims. The governor says it's vitally important to have all documentation on hand when dealing with FEMA.
Because it gives you the best chance to fully get through the system if one of those folks is there, even if they're not. That gives you the best chance of moving through the process.
While claims may now be approved in person, an exact dollar amount cannot be given then, since claims still have to go through their system. Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
FEMA officials say there is more funding available than many people realize, including $500 for critical needs assistance and $300 for the Clean and Sanitize program. Well, more updates on the flood relief effort today from Governor Beshear. There are still 39 confirmed deaths, 19 of those in Knott County. 2 women from Breathitt County are still missing. Now, that number of missing was 130 right after the flood. The governor says right now there are still 157 people in flood shelters and 313 people staying at state parks. The goal is to get all of them moved into travel trailers or other temporary housing soon. There are 94 travel trailers in eastern Kentucky as of today, so many more will be needed because 740 people have registered for one. Almost everyone has power now, but there are still 4,700 service connections without water and nearly 24,000 under a boil water advisory. 27 state and county bridges remain impassable, and the governor says a special legislative session on flooding will happen, hopefully within the next month.
Still have some showers, even a few thunderstorms in the forecast, but nothing too notable. At least that's the way it's looking at the moment. As we look outside right now, even less notable at the moment. Upper 70s, or upper 60s to near 70, I should say, at London Corbin Airport. Plenty of calm weather in place right now. Downtown Whitesburg, similar scene. And it's what you'd expect, 7 after 11 on this Monday night. Well, there's a car moving through right now at the stop sign. 67 degrees. That dew point also at 67 with that wind calm. We're going to have to watch for some of that fog as we head through the overnight. Highs today were actually kind of variable depending on where you were. We were in the mid-70s. Jackson at 76, 81 here in Hazard, 84 London and Monticello. Middlesboro and Jonesville got to 86. They saw more sunshine over in the Cumberland Valley today than they did elsewhere in the Kentucky River Valley. Many of us still in the upper 60s to near 70 at this hour. And those dew points, well, they've come down a little bit. We're in the middle 60s as opposed to the upper 60s because we just don't have that deep moisture in place, though it will feel a bit muggy if you go outside. All of our showers and storms are long gone, but we continue to watch what's going on up across portions of the upper Midwest. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Showers have come to an end tonight, low 60s, and we'll be keeping an eye on that fog. Details on when we could see a return of showers and storms coming up in just a bit. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet contracted the company Ashbrit to help with flood debris removal. Crews were working to remove debris on Monday on Highway 476 in Perry County. We talked with a man who lives on that stretch. He says his family had to take everything out of their home, and they were able to save only about 10% of their belongings. He says the flooding was the scariest event he's ever been through.
It was complete pitch black. And everywhere we were, all you could hear is trees cracking and rocks falling and things just breaking and just the worst sounds that you can ever imagine.
Deaton says they do not have a time frame on when repairs on their house will be finished. People in Buckhorn say it's still so hard to believe what happened there. Many are clearing out houses while others will need to have new homes built or relocated. But everyone is dealing with the lack of running water. Rushing floodwaters knocked out service, and the mayor says it could be months before it's restored.
Just keep using our bottled water. I was going to use this for the flush my toilet, but it's real muddy right now since they're working in it. So I'm just pouring bottles of water.
Buckhorn's mayor says the water outage has impacted people 12 miles up Squabble Creek. He adds some could have service restored in 2.5 weeks. The old J.C. Penney building in Hazard is a main distribution location for flood relief. The ARH Flood Relief Community Distribution Center is open every day. Most people can find anything they need in one stop. FEMA, the Red Cross, crisis cleanup, and tetanus shots are available, as well as clothes, food, cleaning supplies, and more.
If you're a flood victim, we have you fill out a form that gives us just a little bit of information. It says your name, how many in your household, specific items that you're looking for, things that you need, whether your home was flood damaged or if you lost your home entirely. So because that kind of changes what your needs are to some degree.
Anyone who needs help or specific items in eastern Kentucky, not just in Perry County, can visit this location. They also have water outside that is free for anyone. With school starting for many eastern Kentucky students, healthcare professionals are reminding everyone of the importance of valuing kids' mental health. Starting school can be stressful, and living through a pandemic and a natural disaster can make things worse. So healthcare professionals say if your child's behavior has changed or they are experiencing a disruption in their sleep schedule or a change in their school performance, it's important to check in with them.
The important thing is that we as their parents and their loved ones and those that are important in that child's life, that we approach this with empathy. We have an understanding that this child has suffered a great loss. They've suffered something that has really caused them trauma. They have great concerns about their safety. They may have concerns about the safety of their family members.
Psychologist Dr. Alyssa Briggs says although starting school can cause anxiety for some kids, having a routine and a sense of normalcy can also benefit them in the long run. This year's Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival in Hyden raised tens of thousands of dollars for flood relief. The four-day event was hosted by Grand Ole Opry star and Leslie County native Bobby Osborne, and part of it was carried live right here on WYMT. The event raised $56,000 for the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky's Crisis Fund. This was the 29th annual festival. Part of the Toyota plant in Georgetown shut down today because of a hazmat situation. It took crews about 4 hours to get it under control. The air quality is now safe in the portion of the plant that was shut down. Officials say a truck carrying phosphorus hooked up to the wrong tank, which held liquid nitrous oxide. The resulting chemical reaction produced nitric acid, causing Toyota to evacuate about 200 employees. 2 Toyota employees were sent to the hospital as a precaution. State Attorney General Daniel Cameron filed a motion today in federal court asking a judge to permanently dismiss a lawsuit filed against Kentucky's abortion ban. A federal judge blocked the law from taking effect. At that time, then State Attorney General Andy Beshear did not file an appeal. In March, the U.S. Supreme Court said Cameron had the right to intervene in the case. It was sent back to a federal district court. Following the overturning of Roe v. Wade, Cameron is now asking for the law to take effect. While many students are heading back to school, college students are moving on to campus. Today was Big Blue Move-In Day at the University of Kentucky. 6,000 new students are on campus for the first time this week. It is UK's largest freshman class in history. 2 freshmen today, both from out of state, say they are excited for their new chapter.
You know, I'm from Virginia. Not many people from where I live come to Kentucky, so I'll be meeting a lot of new people, which is very exciting.
I came from homeschool, so I'm a little nervous about the school and academics portion of it, but that's about it.
Classes begin 1 week from today. Meanwhile, in Frankfort, many students at Kentucky State University say they don't know if they'll have a place to live this school year. Move-in for K-State is Thursday, but some students say they got an email saying they don't have a placement for a residence hall. Students were told to delay their arrival on campus and plan to be placed in a temporary housing at a local hotel.
Financially, this is not well thought out. It's an inconvenience. It's not thought out for families. It's not thought out for the students. It's an inconvenience, and it's unfair to the students across the board.
According to the KSU website, assignments are given on a first-come, first-served basis. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, they have the meats and are meeting the needs of flood victims. Several Arby's locations participated in a fundraiser for Eastern Kentucky.
And today is not our only chance of showers in the next 7 days. The very latest on the potential for more rainfall is coming right up.
Guys, Pap's got me out again. Do you have a fixer-upper? We can help you with that. We got doors,